Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and today I'm actually recording this in post. I did this just sort of as a brief little, I guess you might say vignette before the real action happens later on. So this is my party. I've got a bounty hunter, Botarel. I'm going to try and take advantage of Mark here. This is a party that doesn't 100% benefit from Mark, but definitely does have have enough of a boon that I think it's worthwhile. We have Cyanide. I've been wanting to run an A-bomb since the start of the DLC. It got dramatically buffed. And he also has Beast Slayer, along with our Occultist with Eldritch Slayer. And finally, we have Petramol, our Arbalist. So everybody here is well equipped, particularly with plus accuracy trinkets. We also have some plus accuracy quirks that specifically benefit a party that is that's fighting the Shrieker, since it is both Eldritch and Beast. I realized, like you could see there, I was thinking, wait, should I bring torches? I was wondering if, like, maybe the Shrieker did anything that drew the light down, and if I had checked to see if I was actually using any trinkets that, or had any quirks that required the high light, I would have realized, no, I don't. And for some reason, I was also thinking, wait, don't you get an accuracy buff if you use the torch? No, that's in the courtyard and nowhere else. So this fight went decidedly better than some of the others, just in terms of preparation. For one thing, the past couple of times that I have fought the Shrieker, I assumed a little bit too much value would be gained from using like the Man-at-Arms buff and stuff like that. And while there is something to be said about the Man-at-Arms applying a buff, because the debuff here obviously only lasts for 3 rounds and is going to tick off very, very quickly. As you can see, the buff is already gone. The Man-at-Arms just does not have the sort of damage output that you really need to get to get sort of the best value out of the character slot. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the buff skill that he applies, but it just feels like, once he applies that buff, for the next 2 turns before he reapplies it, there's just not a whole lot that he's contributing. So anyway, I did want to also take this opportunity to talk about the next couple of episodes. I don't know how many like Farmstead missions there are. It looks like the Farmstead mission that we're about to go on here in the rest of this episode is going to be fighting the Miller, which if I can put my lore hat on, which is a fedora, if I can put my lore hat on here for a minute, I thought that was like the final boss. So maybe there's more. Maybe there's some other enemy that you fight after him. Maybe there's like a space alien or something. I don't know. But if you could add your thoughts for how we're going to proceed. Like, you don't have to put any spoilers in the comments or anything like that, but what would you like to see as far as content for the rest of this this series for the DLC? Like, one thing that we can do, I can, do like endless runs because I know there's an endless mode in the game. If you would like for me to try and fight the creature from the stars and try and get all the trinkets from him before going on, that's definitely cool. Also, I really like that fight. If there's some other content that I am oblivious to, please let me know about that because I definitely want to make sure that that we get absolutely everything covered here. So if you could give me your thoughts for what you would like to see us do next in the DLC, and sort of what sort of priorities I should have in these episodes, I'd be really, really thrilled to fulfill that. So other than that, thank you very much for watching. The next part of the episode is coming right up with a special guest. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and today we have a very special episode. Now, this isn't like one of those bullshit special episodes where, you learn that it's not okay to do drugs, or that it's alright to say no to sex, or that you shouldn't wear a leather jacket when you water ski off a ramp. This is a real honest-to-God special episode. I have Danum here. Danum is actually my old college roommate. And he'll be taking the co-pilot's chair today.
I agree with everything that you just said.
That's right.
My whole life has been spent saying no to sex, drugs, but I do wear a leather jacket.
That is unfortunate. So we are going to be we're going to be going to the Farmstead. So you have not played since like the core game, right?
No, I played a little bit of the core game. So I watched a lot of your videos when you first started putting them out. And
so you're kind of a born again Timepants fan.
Yes. I've come to see the light, and you are God. So I watched probably like 60 of the first episodes. And then I didn't play myself for a long time. I started playing maybe about a year ago. I got about halfway through the game, and then there was a shiny thing in my peripheral,
sure.
And I gave up.
All right.
But still a big fan of it, so interested to see what's going on. I've read a little bit about the Crimson Court, and I don't know much about what's changed in this last DLC.
Well, let's get started. No better way to experience it than to see it for yourself, because I certainly haven't. So one of the things that was introduced, and we're gonna find out like kind of on the fly what this actually is this shard dust.
Okay.
So you and I did a lot of shard dust in college, but in the game I don't know if this will make you see like your grandmother crawling up your leg with a knife between her teeth. So why don't we just find out right now what that actually does. These are also new, Aegis scale. You get these from like clearing out like a special quest. But let's give a moment for the intro.
Got it.
Slabs etched with certain celestial designs were erected around the perimeter of the farmstead. The miller, lamentably eager for some early sign of improvement, fixed his watery eyes intently upon the wilted fields and listless mill. My gaze, however, was cast skyward, and I marveled at the limitless profanity of the stars, wondering what harvest might come.
And the limitless profanity of the stars. Now I hear Charlie Sheen definitely has a lot of that. Now we were supposedly doing a medium run, but I just realized we don't have a camping log, so I'm not sure what that actually entails. So you haven't like seen, like, did you read the patch notes other than
No, other than what you put out in your last video,
Right.
I know very little about
Okay.
what changed.
Okay. Well, as far as like this lot is concerned, not much. Like he got a mark added to his pull,
Nice.
which is neat. But other than that, like I'm kind of just like as I see the stuff, it comes back to me like, oh yeah, I remember reading about that. But honestly, not really great short-term memory. I don't know. You were with me in college. Is there anything that might have happened that might have impaired my short-term memory at all? Or
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a bit.
Okay.
It's hard to put a finger on it.
Right.
There was, well, I guess there were a lot of fingers, but the there's nothing that comes to mind. There was just the normal college stuff.
Right.
Just
What?
not conversing with people and playing Wind Waker all day.
Right, a lot
just
of
the normal college experience.
a lot
really.
a lot of World of Warcraft, if I recall.
Oh, God.
Now that was your game.
Yeah, World of Warcraft was my jam for about 2 years. So we started off, Alex and I, or I'm sorry, Timepants. I just gave.
It's all right. No, I actually dropped the A bomb back at the end of my first run. So the cat is out of the bag, but
Okay.
now I do fear for the safety of my son. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. So Timepants and I, we started out. So we were roommates in college. We started playing World of Warcraft. We were actually playing with my brother. Hail to Beef Chief, who's out there. We started playing World of Warcraft. So Alex and I were playing in our dorm room with my brother, and then Alex actually ended up joining a guild in that game, so I went along with him. The long story short, we kind of did the whole raiding thing. Timepants was not into it. Just hated it. We were so pumped. We were so nerds back then, but we made food for the first raid. We're gonna be here for 13 hours straight.
Like I was up all night reading. Like should I respec my talents, stuff like that. I was prepared. I was being a scientist.
Yeah, and so and then it was basically just wiping to core hounds for 7 hours, and he was not into that. So.
No, we got pulverized. It was considered exceptional that we didn't wipe on the very, 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 very first enemy, if I remember.
Oh yeah. No, it was a cheer. It was a cheer when we got through the giant that was standing by the door.
Right.
But no, so then I played World of Warcraft. So Timepants kind of fell out. I went with it. I was actually really hardcore into it through the Burning Crusade.
Right.
And then I graduated college, got a job. Tried to make excuses for raid days for my job by saying I was in a youth group. Yeah,
you can't be the 30-year-old guy in a youth group.
Okay, so if you're gonna say I need to leave early because I gotta go raid, or I gotta leave early because I'm gonna be in a youth group,
right?
Nobody's going to judge you for being in a youth group.
What you mean is nobody's going to ask any more questions.
Yes, exactly. They're like, wow, I don't want to know anything more about what you're going to do.
This seems really unseemly.
Yeah, and so, but then that excuse kind of fell apart when it was 3 nights a week.
Right, when you're doing the high fellow kids thing.
Exactly, and then people are like, "What's your favorite Bible verse?" And I'm like, "The one in the back."
Right.
So
you probably didn't get that far, but it's a good one.
So I kind of dropped WoW for a long time. I got back into it actually last year when Legion, or a couple years ago when Legion launched. And it was so funny. I don't know if I've told you this, but when I got back into it, and I'm sorry, we're just talking about World of Warcraft on a Darkest Dungeon episode.
That's what people tune in for.
It's just the WoW.
Insight in other games.
Oh, well, then let me talk about Elemental Shaman and where they've been and where they are now.
No, I think what they would really like to hear is some stuff about Trucker Simulator.
Oh God, my other jam. No, so I got back into WoW a couple years ago, and it was really funny because, I used to be really hardcore into it. I was a holy priest because if you were any other spec to being a priest, what the hell were you doing?
Yeah, honestly, you have
You're
fucked up.
supposed to heal stop trying to make shadow work. That was my whole that was the mentality in vanilla. So
Sure.
anyway, I came back in Legion. I was there for like 2 months. I joined some like rinky-dink guild, and I was like, hey, they have raid time, so
Right.
that's fine. I'll show up.
They've got
Like,
a little bit of organizational.
Legitimately, I not played the game for 6 years, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but legitimately, I not played the game for 6 years, and I was the best DPSer in the guild after like a month. And there were some good guys. There were guys who'd played for like a long time.
Sure.
And I was just like, wow, like this
This
kind
is
of
all
really-
it takes.
This
huh?
is all it takes. Like really, when you get down to it, World of Warcraft is just about like it's just rhythm.
Right.
It's cooldowns. It's just getting into a rhythm. It's figuring out what's your rotation and repeating it, and then step out of the fire or whatever. But I mean, so
That's the part that seems to lose a lot of people. Is
it is amazing. When you go back and look at what vanilla used to be and what you actually had to do for a raid boss compared to what you have to do now. Like back then, it was so simple. It was literally like
fucking baby town
hey,
frolics.
yeah, it's like if you are engulfed in flames, like take 2 steps to the right, and you could not get that through people's heads. They were just like, I died. Like what the hell? I didn't get any heals. It's like, step out of the fire, you idiot. Like why? And you look back at some of those boss fights,
Right.
and that's like the boss fights for some of the hardest boss fights back in vanilla. Are just like half a phase in what it is now. It is very complicated now. I will give it that.
Okay.
But people have been playing it for a long time now. People have kind of gotten used to it.
Sure.
So it's not quite
Kinda
as bad.
solved.
I mean, you've said it before. It was the Wild West back then.
Yeah.
No one knew what the hell they were doing. Like forums, like it wasn't a huge game, so there weren't a ton of forums out there.
Well, I mean, it was huge. It was like a cultural phenomenon, but people
But-
hadn't organized.
Yeah, people had not organized. People had not figured out what
How to disseminate information.
exactly.
There's
So-
no YouTube, or at least it was a very nascent YouTube back then.
Exactly. So, and you look back at the game back then, and there were so many shit things that were going. Like, okay, if there are any World of Warcraft fans out there,
There are
Priests-
some, I think.
priests used to have inner fire. Now, inner fire was
You're gonna
a-
have to help me out because
Okay,
I didn't
inner
know.
fire was a spell that all it did was increase your armor.
Okay.
So you're a priest. You're the healing guy.
Right.
You're not supposed to be taking any damage.
Okay.
And if you do take damage, you're either doing something wrong or you pull the aggro or whatever.
Right.
And it gave you like the shittiest amount of armor.
Okay. So.
And this was just a spell.
Okay.
And they had your talent tree was like, hey, increase inner fire. It's like, why the hell do I need this spell?
Right.
And there were so many just random spells back then that you just didn't need, because at the end of the day, people didn't know what they were doing, and like, God bless Blizzard Entertainment, great company. They didn't know what the hell they were doing.
No. I mean, nobody had really attempted it with this kind of a player base before, with this much like attention on it,
Exactly.
and like patches were coming out constantly.
Oh yeah, like it was changing. But I mean, you know what? It was a great time. There was nothing else like it back
Yeah.
then. And to be honest, there's really nothing else like it today.
No, I don't think you could make.
What the hell just happened?
A closer look, perhaps?
I don't know. Sorry, that killed all the momentum in the
It did.
conversation.
Like wow,
Jeez. Okay. The colors transform.
blazing.
Yeah. Speaking of college.
Oh man.
Okay. So I know that there's like an endless mode in this game where like, yeah, you take on, appropriately enough, an endless procession of enemies. And they are enemies that are from all the other zones in the game.
Okay.
So maybe
So-
this is the intro to that.
I recognize Pig Bros.
Yeah.
And the worms.
Yeah. I believe that is the name that appears in the official art book.
Oh yeah, is that lore? Pig Bros is lore.
Yeah, that's some pretty deep cut lore, honestly. Shit ass.
I do remember playing this game, and I figured out very early, kill the things in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's like one piece of advice
Yeah.
that you can give new people, it's that.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't know what to do, just kill the things in the back.
Yeah.
They're probably the worst thing ever.
The rest will kind of take care of itself.
Exactly. Now, I remember watching your, like, at the beginning of this game.
Okay.
I was not a big fan of the occultist, because other than his healing spell, I
Right.
didn't really think what else he brought to the table was great.
Right.
Changed my mind when I actually started playing for myself. Like,
He's my favorite character.
he's really freaking good.
Yeah.
And actually, Plague Doctor was another that I thought at the beginning of when this game launched was pretty crap.
Yeah.
And,
Actually, you didn't see. You didn't see that at its worst.
oh, really?
But yeah, when the game first came out, it was Play Doctor. She was friggin' Garbo, dude. Like she her dots did like less damage. I think they at one point amped up the act.
So is this what you're talking about, the Congo line, where it's just like
Yeah.
they just keep respawning until you get through it?
Well, yeah, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, one of the other major problems with the Plague Doctor back then, like, okay, she has this incision.
Yeah.
It's got a bleed dot, right?
Yeah, pretty
Didn't
good.
before.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
That
incision was pretty good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
back then, no bleed
Ugh.
on that. Battlefield Medicine, now she gets the wipe on the cure,
Yeah.
or on the blight and bleed on herself and whoever she targets. Didn't used to have that. If I remember right, Emboldening Vapors may not have existed. It was bad.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Now that said, I didn't care because I just didn't give a shit about the Plague Doctor.
Did.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the problem, right? Like we diagnosed it. Yeah. But yeah, this game has really come along. Yeah, you're talking about favorite games, and this would definitely be high up in my list. Like this is probably like top 5, maybe top 3. Because I love games that, like, okay, I think this is very telling. So I'm gonna go down my list. All right, this is the official Timepants canon top list of top amazing, great, top good things. So number 1 favorite game is Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6, right?
Yeah.
Just great. Second favorite game would be Final Fantasy Tactics.
Really?
Yeah, like I've probably beaten that game probably close to 20 times.
See, now I liked Tactics. Now this is a big difference between Timepants and myself. Like, so with games, I know this is like the real kind of, I don't know, puss thing to say. I like a good story. See, and he doesn't care.
No.
Like he wants. I mean, I want good gameplay, but I need a good story. I need something to be like, hey, just keep bringing me back.
No, like the thing that brings you back is like, look at those 3 games. Okay, so you
Yeah.
got Final Fantasy 3. You
It's
got
a good
Final
story.
Fantasy. Yeah, it's a simple story. It's a very simple story.
It is a very simple story, but what I like about that is that was one of the first games where they legitimately like just effed up the world halfway through,
Yeah.
and it was completely different, and there was all kinds of like suicide themes. There was all kinds of like, hey, industrial complex thing. I mean,
Right.
it was a simple story, but for the time, it was a really good story.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, it went to some surprisingly dark places for, you know,
Yeah, for games back then.
for Super Nintendo especially.
Oh,
like
God,
Nintendo just didn't
Yeah.
mess around with
It's
that
like-
adult stuff at all.
It's like when you compare the story of Final Fantasy 3 to Donkey Kong Country.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, the similarities are just abound.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What's going on?
give me a second here. Okay. So, this is my favorite thing about her. She's got,
Blocks.
yeah, and it will just block 1 attack.
Okay.
Like, so...
Now,
Okay,
is
so...
it just physical, or is it like...
So, like, the dots will still hit.
Okay.
The stress will still hit. So,
Gotcha.
I mean, you can't fuck around, but... But, yeah, that is... Just to be able to get a... kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card, like a free pass, that, like, okay, this round, that physical damage doesn't matter. Now, this part, that's a little troubling, obviously. We're going to take care of that. But, like, that's... Yeah, the mobility, like, all of the blight effects, the ability to get rid of stun. Okay, check this out, all right? Look, bypass guard. You, like, not only are able to hit a guarded enemy, like, you break the guard. So other people can hit the formerly guarded enemy. All right, check this out. Where is it? Oh, armor piercing. Bypasses protection.
Nice.
Like, holy shit, there's just so much stuff there that none of the other characters have. Like, she just brings this really unique skill set to the table. I think she's great. So, yeah, I just get a big floppy one for the shield breaker. Also, like, in her story, she cut off her own hand because she got bitten by a snake, and she had to, like, stop the poison from spreading. So she's not afraid to, like, you know, do what's got to be done, right?
Wow.
Yeah, you know, you need somebody in the party who can make the hard decisions. So, shield breaker. That's my character. Oh, right.
You know, one of the things I really liked about Darkest Dungeon, and this kind of points back to, sorry, I literally played it for like 3 years.
Right.
Nothing else, and then I played it for like a year ago.
What was your hour count? What was your total hour count when we're getting...
Oh, in World of
all
Warcraft?
all the way
God,
down.
I don't remember. I
It's-
think the last time I played, I was at about 300.
Okay, can I tell the story about when you first checked the hour count?
No, I don't. Yeah, go ahead. I don't
Like,
remember what happened.
with your girlfriend, and
Oh, yeah.
so she asked him, like, so Danum, how much time do you have in this game? And he, like, thought about it for a minute, and then he was like, I'm gonna need you to leave the room, because he wanted to check first before, like, he tipped his hand, like, just exactly how bad it was gonna be.
Yeah, the question was going to be, by what number do I divide the actual to what I tell her? Like,
Right.
Is it a 2?
Which,
is it a 3?
which, by the way, is how a lot of guys in college solve a lot of numbers questions they get posted.
Oh, man. But no, actually, what I really liked about World of Warcraft, and what I actually really liked about Darkest Dungeon, is that I really like, and I think this is something that WoW's gotten away from. This is something that a lot of online games have gotten away from, which I know a lot of people like. I just really like the old way.
Okay.
I like the way of having a defined job.
Okay.
So, like, one of the things that, like, World of Warcraft has gotten into is, like, hey, you know, you could be this class, but you can tank, you can deal really good damage, you could do all these things.
Right.
You know, you
Sort
could
of a
be
generalist.
A generalist, right? Seems like everybody's a hybrid or a generalist now. I really like the old way. It was like, hey, if you chose a class, that was because you chose to do this thing.
Right.
And, like, that's your job. So,
Right.
like, the tank's job is to be a tank.
Right.
Like, and so what I really like about this is I like the fact that all the classes have, like, very specific things that they can do.
Yeah.
And kind of mixing and matching that. Like, I wouldn't like the fact if, like, hey, you just have, like, characters that can do a little bit of healing and can do a little bit of damage,
Right.
and blah blah blah. Like, I like the fact that they're very set.
Like, clear archetypes and roles.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why, like, Final Fantasy 3 is one of my favorites. And it's a little sad because, and now I'm gonna get super nerdy, but like, magic makes that game ridiculously unbalanced, because
Yes.
magic it's just like kind of the great equalizer. But the way I used to play the game when I was playing it, like, a ridiculous amount of time, like Dana will confirm I probably beat that game just while he was around, probably about 30 times.
Yep.
But yeah, the way that I like to play was like the natural magic game where nobody learned any magic other than like from their levels. So you didn't equip Magicite, you didn't equip Espers, and you got to play with the characters kind of as a set of strengths, weaknesses, ability to use certain equipment, that sort of thing.
Except for, you know what? Except for Gao.
Gao's the man.
Gao is the man because he could do whatever the hell you want him to do, man.
But that's the thing. That was the great balance. Like the great balancer there was that he could do anything, but you couldn't control him. Like
that's true. That's true.
And even when he got like the ability to do that very specific thing, when he imitated a monster, yes, you have access to all these different movesets, but you get one spell and you get your regular attack. So even then, choosing the right combination of spells and the right combination of the right rage for the right situation, that made it very, very interesting. Like, you've got this big bag of tools and you just have to know what the right one is for the situation.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I forgot about Gao, like the whole he can do anything, but he's just fucking out of control. Like, you don't know what the hell he's gonna do.
Right.
Like, so that, you're absolutely right.
And then there was Umaro. Yeah. Really, really high quality, great character. The Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
Mog's friend. Just a great character. Really, really robust tool set there. You could tell they put a lot of love.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of love into that.
Just all stories. So what is this guy in the front? What's his deal?
Okay, so he did show up in the last run. So Haunting Revelation, I think, sets a stress attack.
Okay.
Flail the Crops. I think that's a pretty big damaging attack, and Blight. These guys have never gotten an attack off. They do have Riposte, but our minimum damage kills it. So I think go ahead and take that out. By the way, this is something that maybe I mentioned this, or maybe you heard me mention this. This is something that I thought was really interesting as kind of a way to make the game feel better, even if it isn't. The game lies to you, okay? Darkest Dungeon straight up fucking lies to you. So if you get hit by a crit attack from an enemy, if you get hit by a crit attack from an enemy, even though an enemy might have a 20% chance to crit, the next enemy that attacks you gets their crit chance lowered. Right? Here's another thing. So when you have a 95% chance to hit the enemy, you always hit.
Really?
Yeah. Because what is the worst thing in Final Fantasy Tactics? When you got a 98% chance to hit and you miss, and you're like, no, that's bullshit. Well, no, it's not. It's just,
that's just,
it just didn't work out.
That's chance. It happens. Did you ever play XCOM?
Yeah. It's the worst. The feeling of losing something.
It's a great game.
Yeah, no, it's a great game, but the feeling of losing somebody because you missed your 90% chance to hit, it feels like bullshit.
It does.
And it's not.
But, that's the thing. It's a gamble. You're like, hey, it's a 75% chance. That means 1 out of 4 times, I ain't gonna make it.
But the human brain is stupid.
The human brain thinks anything above 51 is just money.
It's a guarantee.
It's money. Give it to me.
I'm losing money if I don't gamble on those odds.
No, that is absolutely true.
So I love that was done as a quality. I cannot believe I let that go. I am an idiot.
It's going downhill. I don't want to judge, but
but you could do way better.
No, I could not.
Well, you're taking the wheel next.
Oh no! Don't make me do that.
No. Sorry, it's a tradition for all of our guests.
Oh no.
Not
when we have to defeat Dennis Miller.
handsome reward.
Sorry, that was probably should have recorded when we said
Yeah,
that.
no,
Jim,
the callback doesn't work if we aren't calling back to anything.
is this the Miller?
This is the Miller.
Okay.
Okay, high stun resist. This 130 base plus 20, so 150, 55% chance to hit. I think we just buff.
Buff it up.
Yeah. So this is one thing that I do really like, is they realized that one of the things about buffs that kind of sucked. Yeah, one of the things that sucked was that you burnt a turn on a buff, and then it was going to wear off 3 rounds later, right?
Yeah.
But if you buffed yourself, it actually wears off 2 rounds later, because your tick goes off, right?
Yeah.
That sucks. You know, that really, it feels, again, it's one of those things where it feels terrible. So one of the things they did with buffs in the new patch is that they made it so that a lot of buffs last. Now
what is he, like, protected?
No guard skills. Doesn't matter for us.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of buffs last, like, for the battle. So check this out, like that plus 23% damage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah.
I think we just go again. But yeah, this shouldn't bother us. So actually, one of the things, like one of the recurring, he gets a guard. Got it.
Okay.
I'm with you.
I get the catch.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, talking about, wow, this game has a lot of gimmick fights in it. And I like it because once you figure out the gimmick, you feel like a friggin' genius.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is the Jester any better?
Oh, actually, there was a patch right after Crimson Court came out.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Where he was, like, overpowered.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, that's impossible to imagine, right?
Was that the whole solo and then the...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you were there for that?
Yeah, I remember when I played it, because I played the base game after Crimson Court came out.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I read somewhere that was a freaking awesome. So then I did that for a while. But the Jester, I'm gonna say, is probably, I have a soft place in my heart for all Bard characters.
Okay.
I think the Bard is probably the most underlooked RPG class.
I do love the idea of just being able to, drop a bunch of buffs on your party.
Yeah, just buffs. And
You're a force multiplier.
Just hanging out in the back, strumming a guitar.
Right.
Just...
Like, as a set of class skills, it is ridiculous.
Oh, no. Like, I'm all about the ridiculousness of classes. And so, no, I think Bard, I think a Bard should be in WoW. I think a Bard, they should have a Bard in Destiny.
Sure.
They should have Bards in every single multiplayer game. Should have a Bard.
If you can put a Bard in it, do it.
Do it.
What are
please.
you waiting for?
Please.
All right, so that's the call to action to anybody listening. Bards, please.
Bards, please. So,
this is not going well. You may have noticed that.
One thing I kind of wish they did in Darkest Dungeon a little bit, because if you know how to take care of it, it never really is an issue.
Right.
Is stress.
Oh boy, yeah, that has changed.
Like, I wish that stress was still a thing. I thought that was the thing that made this game the most interesting. When I first heard about it, and I first saw you play it, I was like, oh, stress, like that puts on a whole other kind of thing in this. But
right.
I kind of feel like where, at least when I play it and a couple of the videos I've seen of the new stuff, it's like, if you know how to take care of it, it's never really a thing anymore.
Right. That I think it has returned to an extent.
Okay.
Actually,
you're...
this is not going well.
No.
Yeah, actually, I think Crimson Court did a...
Now, if your tank goes down, take the wipe. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, we'll just run back.
Yeah, just run back, guys. Just take the wipe.
I think we lean in. I think we try and win.
Yeah, I think you're at that point where, yeah, you've just got to just balls to the walls, try to get this down.
All right, what? 7 speed? 7 speed. Oh, boy. Do we take the coin flip? I'm going to do it.
Yeah, really? You're going to go for... Okay.
Actually, no. No, you're right.
Well...
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck everything. And now if she dies to blight, I swear to God, I'll kill you.
Okay, but here's the thing. When I play a lot of these turn-based RPGs...
Right.
95% of the time,
right,
it is always better to just survive.
Right.
If you can just survive and get through it, that's what you need to do. All right, there you go.
Survived. Got through it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, that was the advice we needed at the 0 hour. Was drop that 0 heal, because that's gonna motivate her to survive so she can get some fucking revenge.
I think I just saved the game.
You son of a bitch. And this is the other thing whenever we have guests. Mm-hmm. They piss me off so much. Okay, so, actually, stress levels were good.
Yeah?
No, Crimson Court was a stress fest, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Recruit Shard Mercenaries. Select few champion heroes have come to answer the strange call of Comet. They hunger for the spoils of this otherworldly vessel and can only be used for the endless harvest quest in the Farmstead. They can be found by the stagecoach. Disposable heroes. So if you're gonna fight endlessly, you don't want to throw.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like good lives away. So, yeah, we'll pick up another time. But thank you very much for watching, Dan. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, yeah. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Proud of you.